conversation of you're not actually dead and you get to be a whole new superhero and be with a whole bunch of other superheroes and villains.
What was the question?
Like, how did that conversation go? Because, like, did you know that the death was not going to stick?
No, I did not know. When I died, I don't know if they knew if there was a show even at that point. So I thought it was done. You know, I was like, all right, well, that was fun. Like, had my ride. And they when they called me in and said what they were proposing, and the fact too that it was going to be different than the other shows and more serialized, more event-based, like one huge storyline rather than the episodic kind of open and close, was really interesting to me. And when they said, who the cast was, I got really excited.
How is your character going to be different on Legends as opposed to how she was on the Arrow?
I don't know what direction they're going to go with it. It's hard. We haven't gotten scripts yet, but it's because it can go either way. I mean, she could either become more enlightened and, actually maybe come around to being like a normal person, or she could just fall off the edge, which is probably more likely to happen with her. But also, I would imagine, after dying that many times, she probably is not afraid to die. And when I try to imagine, imagine if you actually were not afraid of dying. You would be the most badass person. And that's what I'm hoping Sara gets to be that. There's just some kind of reckless abandon that's got to be very freeing that she hopefully comes up with.
Because she was being resurrected via the Lazarus pit, right?
Yes.
And so, right, and somebody who goes through that,
they change.
They change.
We saw it with Thea on Arrow. She had lost her mind a little bit, so there's going to be side effects. There's going to be consequences. You don't just get your life back for nothing. You always got to pay.
It seems like Sarah's going to be coming into this with a lot of, unfinished business, based on how her, dying, Malcolm Merlin's involvement, Thea's involvement, and the fact that her family will have to find out. Do you know at this point how much of that will be addressed before Legends of Tomorrow, or are we?
I don't know. I think that there's definitely going to be. I'm definitely going to go on to Arrow, so I'll be making appearances, and there's a lot to deal with. Maybe she'll have a wonderful revenge kill list. And throughout the series, I think we can hopefully keep addressing it and tying those in, because it's interesting to bring those two shows together. But definitely be coming on Arrow. What they do with that, I think will be interesting. One of the things about Flash and Arrow for this season is the first half is a lot of it is going to be setting up our show, setting up our characters and bringing them into the world. So that'll be interesting.
Which of the characters of this show are you looking forward to interacting?
I think I would like to see Sara interact with Heatwave, just because I feel like they will hate each other. I just feel like I see them butting heads. They're both such strong characters. That'll be interesting. And when we were filming the trailer with Captain Cold, I thought that they kind of had a similar humor thing to them. So I feel like they would be interesting to interact too.
You mentioned that you're not afraid of dying, but you also said you're going on Arrow, and I'm assuming you're going to interact with Thea, who you're probably not too pleased with. So I'm wondering, what do you think that interaction is going to be like? Did you find it in your heart to forgive her?
I guess it depends on if Sara finds out that it wasn't Thea's fault, or it wasn't Thea's intention, but it was Malcolm Merlin's. I mean, if she finds out that, I can't imagine that that's not number one on I will kill you list.
How do you think the reunion between Sara and some of the other characters on Arrow will go, like her sister and Oliver and everything like that?
Oof, I don't know. I think the one that I'm always, it like hurts me to think about is poor Lance, you know, just like how many times can you lose, you know, her daughter. I think with Laurel wouldn't be excited that with what she's doing. I think that she would be very not into that. And especially if she feels like it's her fault that her sister kind of got into this life that has done her so dirty. Then she wouldn't want her to be involved with that. And with Arrow, I would wonder how Sara and Oliver, because, I mean, they have something really special. I know it's like this, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what their bond is, but there's something, they went through a lot together. So it'll be interesting to see how they interact and where they could take that storyline as well.
I think that there's a shortage of female, or like there often has been a shortage of female superheroes, and now, like, just on a personal level, how do you feel being part of this new wave? Like, there's more like female superheroes for little girls to look up to than ever before.
I mean, it's awesome. For me, it's like, I can't really imagine like being on the show and playing, you know, one of the other ones. So I'm glad that there's space for me now, because I feel like I've always been, as a martial artist, as a dancer, very like physically strong, and it's cool to be able to utilize that. And you know, I don't know. We'll see. Like, I think one of the things that I have felt is with the like LGBT community and Sara, I felt how much that's affected people and how much they've appreciated seeing that on there. But I have gotten like a few little girls or moms that are like, my little girl loves dressing up as your character and she's taking martial arts now. And you know, it's things that hopefully even like getting women to do self-defense, which I just started learning. And I'm so surprised. I've done martial arts, but never self-defense. It's kind of very different. I'm like, why don't all of us like know this stuff? Like, it's very quick and easy to learn a few things, and just knowing how to like defend yourself a little bit changes the way you carry yourself, and can be from a victim to a more empowering position. So I hope it inspires women in that way as well, and not feeling like you have to be rescue me, or you have to be these definitions of feminine to be sexy or to be hot or to be wanted. And Sarah's, you know, kind of an example of a different way for women.
Was there a costume that you ever dressed up as that you like, a character you looked up to as a kid?
You know, I wasn't like so into comics as a kid. What did I dress up as? I was a tomboy. I was such a tomboy. So like, I don't know. I don't remember.
Thank you.
Hi guys.